Steelers, my Steelers, last week to overcome a subpar performance from Mr. Dak Prescott. But this week is a different story. They're facing the Lions, who put up 42 points in the game before their bye. J-Mac, we'll start with you. Do you have any faith that the Cowboys will upset the Detroit Lions this weekend?
I do. I have some faith in the Cowboys. I don't think this is a foregone conclusion that the Detroit Lions are just going to walk in and blow out the Dallas Cowboys. Let's give the Cowboys some credit, because I feel like we come in here when they fall short in prime time or they don't perform up to the standards and they lose a game, and we come in on a Monday and we absolutely kill them. And it's the same old Cowboys.
Hold on, let me pause you. I just want to make sure before you continue. Before you continue. Am I listening to Jason McCourty come on national television on First Take and accuse us of being too hard on the Dallas Cowboys? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Nope. Not saying too hard. It's justified. What I'm saying is when they get in the fourth quarter of a close game and Dak drives them down the field amidst the adversity of throwing a red zone interception, of fumbling a ball in the red zone, you drive them down there, you get to a 4th and goal, and you make the play to win the football game. Dan O's laughing. You have to give credit for that. We can always say, well, but they didn't play well. Well, but he threw this interception to Joey Porter Jr. They found a way to win the game. We've said on offense for those guys the whole time. We said somebody other than CeeDee Lamb has to do something. Somebody in the game other than CeeDee Lamb did something. Can that not carry over and say, you know what? They did answer a few questions in that game to give you some hope for them moving forward. You can't always say doom and gloom when they win a game. They won the game, but you know what? The Pittsburgh Steelers stink. They need to get Justin Fields out of there and Russell Wilson. They beat the Giants. Well, the Giants aren't any good. Did you see the way they struggled in that game? Like, you have to give them some credit when they find a way to win football games. Uncross your arms, Dan.
You sound like Dear Abby. Go ahead, Dan.
Listen, we gave them credit for that comeback. Great. Nice drive.
Yes.
You had 6 points with 18 minutes to go in the game. So I don't think that they have a chance to go down there and win, no. Or to stay at home and win. I think this is very similar to what I felt maybe about like the Saints game, a bad matchup for the Dallas defense. Specifically, this is a Lions offense that won is violent and diverse and one of the best run games in football. The Cowboys have the worst pass defense in football going right now, and by far the worst pass defense when teams' offenses run motion. You know that's something Detroit's going to do. Here's my thing with this whole Cowboys-Lions game. Dallas, if you want us to take you seriously, win. Win. Beat them. Prove that you belong. Because right now, at least me, I don't believe Dallas is a playoff football team. And no matter what happened against the Giants and no matter what happened against the Steelers, I don't view this team as a playoff football team. So if you want people to, and you want people to believe that you can contend, take on one of the best teams, if not the best teams in the NFC at home, and prove that you are. Prove that you can.
Mina.
I'll split the difference a little bit. I certainly don't think Dallas is going to win this game. Football's about matchups. This is just a horrible matchup for them in terms of their defense against Detroit's rushing attack in particular. The Dallas run defense has looked better the last couple of weeks, but respectfully, this Detroit running game is a different animal from what they've been playing. And Dan alluded to this. This defense has been super susceptible to misdirection, play action, all of that, things that Detroit is very good at. I won't say, however, that they don't have a chance, because I do think they have a chance offensively. I really liked a few of the things I saw from this offense against Pittsburgh. J-Mac, you alluded to this. You finally had players other than CeeDee Lamb getting open. That is so significant against a Detroit defense that plays a ton of man coverage. And by the way, has been exploited in man coverage, right? We go back to that Seattle game. I really think if Kevontae Turpin and Jalen Tolbert and Jake Ferguson can get open, you know, Dak loves throwing over those seams. There's an opportunity here for Dallas to turn this into a shootout. That, to me, is their only path to victory, though.
That is their only path to victory, and I don't give them much of a chance of getting to that path. I'm picking the Detroit Lions to win this game. I would tell you this. I get where you're coming from, J-Mac, but we also have to take into account the level of competition. The reality is that we weren't pleased with what we saw from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we recognize that. There was a lot of guys open. What the hell were they doing open? By the way, you do have a running back in Najee Harris who's in a contract year. How come he could have run the football? I didn't see that. Now, Warren has been out. Obviously, when he's in that backfield with Najee Harris, they're a lot more formidable. formidable in Pittsburgh in the rushing attack, but that wasn't the case. You got one wide receiver in George Pickens. If anybody needs a number 2 wide receiver, it would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got to point that out. The New York Giants, you didn't have much of a running attack either. So the Dallas Cowboys stopping their running attack, stopping the Steelers running attack. It's a different animal entirely. Didn't I tell y'all about that angle? I want this one. The bottom line is when you're sitting up there and you're going up against the Detroit Lions, it's an absolutely positively different angle. Let us also not forget how Detroit was robbed in their game against Dallas last year when they played against Dallas.
Yeah.
You remember how motivated they are to go into this game. So when I take that into account and I'm looking at Dak Prescott having one primary weapon, I'm looking at them rank. What is it right here? They struggle to run the football, ranking 31st in rushing yards, 31st in yards per carry, 29th in rushing TDs, 22nd in red zone TD efficiency. I'm looking at all of these things for the Dallas Cowboys. And if the Detroit Lions are what we say they are, and people have been speculating, they could be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. Had they ran the football more in the NFC Championship game, they might have been representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. There is no way in hell they should lose to the Dallas Cowboys, Mina.
I love that framing because we made this about the Cowboys. Let's make this about Detroit. I already know that this Detroit offense can run the ball in Dallas. I would be shocked if they don't. I want to see, can this pass defense show the improvement that they will need to make it to the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl? Because thus far, it's been a little bit up and down pass defense. There's been some injuries, obviously a lot of new pieces there. There is an opportunity here for this team to show we are the most balanced team in the NFC. That has not been the case thus far.
And I look at it, too. You guys are saying, all right, the Giants, that was an opponent that the Dallas had to play. They couldn't run the ball. Well, they just ran the ball all over the hell of Seattle that next game. And when they beat the Giants, when they got ready to play Pittsburgh, the thing was, well, you beat the Giants run game, but now you have Najee Harris coming in, and you have a Pittsburgh team with Justin Fields who's going to be able to run the ball. And then they stop them, and we continue to come up with excuses. I just think we have to give them their credit when they're showing up and they're performing and winning that football game.
Yeah,
well, it wasn't performing that well.
This ain't Pittsburgh's offensive line.
It's the next opponent on the schedule.
But
they weren't performing that much. Hold on. The host is here. They weren't performing that well. They won by default because of the ineptitude of their 2 opponents.
NFL
is what the argument was. Oh, stop it. You please.
They scored 20.
What, have the Dallas Cowboys been that impressive?
The other team scored less than 20.
But the other team isn't a dynamically explosive offense in either elements. Like the Giants and the Steelers aren't unbelievably explosive when it comes to that stuff.
I get that.
At all. But you ain't playing Pittsburgh's offensive line this week. Hey, here's my thing, and Mina, I get your a shootout point. And I think Brian Branch, hopefully playing in this game for Detroit, matters because I think he can maybe match up with Ferguson. Terry and Arnold. You would know this better than me. I think he's got to develop a little bit more with some discipline.
Stop grabbing.
Hutch. Like if it turns into a shootout, we've watched this Dallas offensive line, and everyone's going to go, how are they going to block? Aiden Hutchinson will be as impactful in this game, and if they turns out to into a shootout, can they hang and protect against him?
And if it does, they also have to be able to guard CeeDee Lamb.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now, wasn't I very nice there? Didn't I give everybody a chance to speak? I gave everybody a chance to speak. I let you get it off your chest. You understand what I'm saying? I did do that.
You're doing a great job.
I did do that.
I
should say so myself. Thank you very much. Watch your mouth,
back
especially
Monday?
with that. Watch your mouth, J-Mac, especially with that damn tie. When Molly gets back, she'll get back, okay? For now, I'm here. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Silence. We're going to break. Silence. No, we're not looking at those shoes. They look whack. Not as whack as your name, but they look whack.